Hello and welcome to the Light Portal with Matthias and Cecilia, today host. And today we are gonna to talk about personal development. And I'm passing forward to you, Cecilia. What do you have to say about the subject?
Hi to you all who are looking on our YouTube. I think personal development is very big subject, and I'm dedicated to personal development, and I think it's interesting part of my life when personal development happens, and I think it's much things that has happened in my life that comes to like a dead end or something like that. So I need to push myself forward and try to do something else. So the personal development uh, is happen inside me and outside myself in life in um, what you say, different perspective and different time zone in time period in my life, and I don't have had so good childhood. I was very lonely as a child and not have a good parents and get more bullied in school. I have a narcissistic parent in my home, so I get much uh, responsibility should that I take for myself and my siblings. That I do things at home and fix at home and try my school. And when I don't have parents with me as a child, then it was very much to try and error and guess who what was right, and that um, was the start for personal development, because it happens either way I want it or not. But I have a huge big uh, intuitive um, gift too, that was start when I was a child. And when I was a child, it was very intuitive uh, energy I have. So my spiritual me and the person who was psychology interesting was big in me, and I I am 36 years old today, and for 10 years ago I've written a book about psychology, balance, about fears and love. What when you do something in love, you develop yourself, and if you do something in fear, um, you go back in your development. And I write about guilt and shame uh, on the one part, and the other part to more go with the flow, follow your heart, and stuff like that. And so the big emotions you have is love and fear, and that is what I have tried to live my life more, to choose love uh, and not choose fear. So my personal development have a big part of my life, and after my childhood I was educating myself in psychology and had a bit what you say, experience that is good and bad, that have developed myself. But today I'm very dedicated to inspire people to love themselves and the relationship with themselves, and to heal themselves and develop themselves to get more uh, grounded in their authentic identity and be themselves and go forward. Yes, it's a little bit about me, but it's much, much more to say. But
Yeah.
maybe we talk about it more in the video to come.
Mm.
So, how about you, Matthias?
Yeah, I have a big history behind me. It started with losing my father before I turned 9, and after that I got to a foster home, and or later in life I started to begin a gambling addiction and mental illness between those years. So I've been struggling with myself, and personal development started about, I think, for real for 3 4 years ago, something. And I was in a gambling addiction and thinking about taking my own life. And I started to ask the question for myself if I would live this life just to live, or if I will live the life full. And I was sitting there in the forest for 3 4 days and thinking about this, and then something happened inside me, and I took uh, some questions uh, and start asking me what is it who is behind all this. And I saw a lot of fear. It has stopped me in my personal uh, relationships with other people, and to say what I think, and say what has happened to me. It was a lot of shame, uh, and then when I choose life again, I told myself to never allow people to tramp on me. I set boundaries for myself, and it wasn't easy because you have been living with these people for many years. But I also felt that I need to follow my own path and start to live my own life. And this is where my personal development started for me, and I've been loving it. I'm just learning every day something new about myself, and I really love it, and I hope to help other people in the same situation where they feel afraid, they feel like they are locked, and they feel that they don't know how to get out a mental illness. And yeah, it's a little bit about myself, and it's a lot of more things I can talk with you about. And Mia and Cecilia is gonna to discuss this on our YouTube channel, and we are also gonna to have a website, the Light Portal, in the future, and on Facebook, the Light Portal. So I hope you want to join us on our channels, and I hope that you write some objects you want us to take up, uh,
Yeah.
or subjects.
Yes.
Subjects.
And we have to say that we
So
are from Sweden. I don't know if you say that we are from Sweden.
yeah,
And Matthias live in Sweden, and I'm living in Portugal right now, but I'm grow up in near Gothenburg in Sweden, east of Gothenburg, and Matthias living near Gothenburg too, I think, or where, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It, it's about 5 miles away, so not
yeah,
that
yeah,
far away. And it's a little bit strange because later in life we ended up in the same town, Örebro, and it's about, is it 3 hours
yeah.
from
Yes.
Stockholm or
Yeah, I
something
think
like
so.
that,
Yes.
Cecilia? Yeah. So that was our first meeting
Yes.
on social media, searching for
Yes.
friends in Örebro. And after that, we have done some pods. You have been
Yes.
interview me, and now we want to co-work together, and yeah, and hope to make some change for some people and
Yes.
give some hope
And
out there.
I am used to podcasts because I have done Swedish podcasts, but this is the first time I do something in English, in verbal. But I have a Swedish podcast on
Mm.
spiritual theme, and I have guests that speak about spiritual things in Sweden. And I have my first podcast when I invite Matthias was about physical physical illness in Sweden, and yeah, and how
Il-
you
Mm.
do to feel good about yourself. And I was invited Matthias to speak about his uh,
Mm.
what do you say, play addiction. Yes, no, play addiction. Gambling
Yeah,
addiction. Okay.
gambling
Yeah,
addiction.
gambling
Uh,
addiction. And I had some guests that
yeah,
speak
yeah.
about other stuff in that team. And I I'm
Mm.
like to be creative as a person, and I develop myself when I as a creative person. So I was writing my first book in
Mm.
Swedish for 10 years ago, 12 years I think. And last year I was ready to
Mm.
publish that book in English. So it's on Amazon right now on English. Uh, and I'm going to uh, get some link to that later.
What is the
Uh,
what is the
I
subtitle?
don't remember the subtitle. I think it's the true light in your everyday. No, it's the true light. It's the true light in
Okay.
your existence. Is it? Yes, that is the subtitle. I was a little
Okay.
bit
Mm.
nervous on
Yeah,
what
good.
the subtitle was, but I'm going to link it. But it's the true light in your
Yeah, uh,
existence by Cecilia Ekman. It's on Amazon. Yes.
yeah. Uh, uh, and you
Yeah.
can
Yes.
get it on our website later. We're just working on the website, and when we are finished, we're gonna to
Yes.
pronounce it on our YouTube channel. But I'm looking forward to read it. But I maybe take it
Yeah.
in Swedish instead. Uh, maybe
Yeah.
maybe a little bit easier for me. But I like to push myself and my boundaries. So this is really challenging to speak in English, and I
Yeah.
hope you understand what we are saying. But we will practice just as with this channel. We are gonna to do this experiment, and we are
Yeah.
learning and getting better all the time. And do you have some subjects? Just write it down, and we are gonna to choose
Yeah.
subject after that. So personal development for you, Cecilia, how has it been for you to work with yourself, and what is the
My
biggest
God, I don't know
reward?
what to say, but it's much to say. But I think when I was young, it was very much develop myself to the insight that I am a good as a person as I am. I am worthy of love, and I'm worthy of be the one I am. The struggle about to get boundaries and good health, and I deserve that. And um, for me, it's like what I want to inspire others with today, because you can have some toxic relationship, and I have had some of them, and Matthias too. And I think many people out there can relate to have toxic relationships and good relationships too, but the relationship to yourself is the one that is most important, because you're going to live with yourself and look in the mirror on yourself like in 80 years plus or minus, something like that. So the relationship with you, to love yourself inward and outward, is the most important thing. And I love to inspire other people to get more what do you say, emotional expansion the emotions, and expand your emotions and understand your emotions. Yeah, open up and understand your emotions.
Open up.
I think that is important in personal development for me, and want to inspire others with personal development in emotional way. Yes.
Mm. Yeah, and don't forget, you are special. You're one of a kind. There is no one else like you. And it was like we have talked before, Cecilia, about coaching and YouTube and things like that. You asked me, isn't there so many out there? Yes, I said to you, it's very much coaches out there, and but no one is like you.
Yes.
You have your own experience. No one can take that from you. So that's make you
Yes.
unique, and no one can take that from you. So just be the one you are, and be true to yourself, and and then you're gonna to develop and give
Yes.
yourself
And
the love
it's like a vision for
you
me,
deserve.
because I think when in Sweden, I can say a little bit short about it, but I think maybe it was Web, but it was very hard climate for COVID discussions, and it was like separating people more and come together. And I think it's a cold climate out there in the world, and we need to spread more love and understanding and more consciousness about emotional uh,
Mm,
living, and expand your emotional. Yes. So,
mm, yeah, and I don't think COVID is the first experiment for human, because gonna think that it will come something bigger in the future. And if you follow the masses, then you not follow yourself. And it's very important to give yourself that love and stand for what you think is right, because it's your decision, and you are gonna to live with it
yes.
after uh, the experience. So I think it's important to be true to yourself and not give in what other people think. Because if you ask those who took the COVID needle, I think the most will say, I did it because my brother did it. I did it because my mother told me, or my brother. And it was so much hate at this time, just because you choose your own path. I think it's very important to not give in those times as COVID, because I saw it was a little bit like during the Nazi. Everybody was forced to think the same and say the same, because if you didn't,
Yes.
then you had a big finger on you and you was pointed at and mocked at. So I think it's going to be more about that in the future, and I hope so many people listen to yourself, and many people will start with your self-development so much that you see the
Yes.
truth and what is going on behind the scenes. Because if you take some vaccine that is untested, and in Sweden, I don't know in the rest of the world, but they said if there is some complication, we will not pay you any money. And that says a lot about the company. If they don't stand up behind their own
Yes.
product, why should
Yeah.
we, the usual
I
people,
think the
take it
same,
then?
because it's like, is
So
if we care about more each other, and if we start with us, it starts with me and you who listen, and if we start with ourselves and give ourselves love and respect and integrity, then we can give emotional love and feelings to other people out there, and then we get the circle of love and light coming through to other, and inspire to live more happy and live in a more thriving society. It would be nice. So, and I think maybe our first episode is started to
yeah,
over, yes, start to finish. So maybe I
over.
hope you will listen to next
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
that me and Matthias have, and have a good day, and we maybe hear some other video, and look on our Facebook on no, we don't have it in English yet, or
Yeah,
only have it in Swedish. Yes, no.
the, li- the
Yeah,
uh,
so, yeah.
the Swedish, but we are going to start a light portal on Facebook
Yes,
too. So it's going to be a website and on Facebook,
yes,
and we are coming out with the news when it's all done. But I hope you have enjoyed our channel and will follow us. You can subscribe if you want, and
yes,
you can write your comments, and we will respond as soon as we can.
yes.
I
Bye
hope
bye.
you all have a good day.